How's it going, FUD Nation, and welcome back to FUD TV. I'm your host, Elio Trades, and today we're going to be going over a very exciting new cryptocurrency that was just announced by a co-founder of Uber, Garrett Camp. The coin is called Eco, and it has some very, very high aspirations to be not only a standard currency across the world, but also a really, really good store of value along the way. How is this going to work? Well, let's check it out. We got everything you need to know and more about the Eco project. I'm Elio Trades, and this is FUD TV. So here we are on the Eco website, and as you see, it's very, very good looking, but very blank. They only have a little how Eco works, view design proposal. They have a little white paper. You click over to the foundation, all you see is a little mission statement, some supporters here. They don't have a ton of information up, so we're gonna look at everything they have up here. Now, the reason why we know about it is that there was this very short Medium article put up by Eco that got covered just on March 1 here, so that's just a couple days ago. And when we click over, really the best thing that we have to analyze this project is their white paper. So we're clicking over their white paper now, and we're just gonna take a little bit of an overview of their white paper, walk through and sort of try to make some assumptions based on what we can read here, what's visible here, and hopefully we can make some good assumptions, get some good ideas about what Eco is planning here. Eco is seeking to be a global currency protocol, an open source platform that is not controlled by any single individual, and he doesn't want to be controlled by any organization or nation. This is really another cool aspect here, is that they're creating a global university network here to run nodes. Cryptocurrencies took less than 10 years to get popular. It took hundreds of years for paper money to get popular. And that they're saying that currently only 8% of money even exists in its physical form. So they're saying this whole idea of fiat currency that you can hold and touch is really just an illusion anyway, because most of your money in the bank isn't sitting there as paper in a bank. It's being lent out. It's really an IOU, your bank balance, a digital IOU. That sound familiar? Anyway, the vast majority of money is just a digital balance, a ledger, and a bank computer system, not a decentralized system. They're saying that in order for blockchain and digital currencies to become mainstream and scale while preserving a decentralized design, new platforms are needed that are easier to use. Now, that's for sure. I don't know if you've ever tried to get one of your parents or one of your relatives to send to a Bitcoin address or to write down a private key, but it's really overwhelming. You can see the stress and the cortisol levels really spike when you have people doing these complex Bitcoin or cryptocurrency activities. So certainly agree there. They're saying there are three issues with Bitcoin are the concentration of resources in the hands of the few, and I think they're pointing towards the mining network here. The large amount of energy consumed by the mining network as well, and its perception as a complex and unsafe platform. Now, I don't know about it being a complex and unsafe platform as that's the perception. I don't view Bitcoin as unsafe. I view Bitcoin as the most safe of the cryptocurrencies, but then again, I'm probably not your average Joe. You have people like Bill Gates saying Bitcoin kills people, so obviously I'm sure random people do have a weird perception of Bitcoin. Anyway, they're saying that Bitcoin does create a digital asset in the form of scarce coins that have a shared perception of value. However, in the emergence of large mining pools has led to the uncertainty around long-term governance. A small number of entities now control mining capacity. Future digital currencies now should be more evenly distributed, broadly allocated, and energy efficient. So this is their core value propositions here. Future currencies should be more evenly distributed, broadly allocated, and energy efficient. So how are they going to go about creating this broadly allocated and fair system? So Eco's mission is to create an open, verified, distributed platform for value exchange. They will ensure that the majority of economic value is generated by the platform is fairly distributed through the community and the accounts at eco.com. So this is one of the things they're doing. They're creating eco.com, which is going to be like their central hub. Think of it like a very easy, beautiful user interface that you can go in and buy, trade, send your Eco tokens. It's just going to be like a very easy program to manage, very consumer facing, very appy and web 3.0 or 4.0, whatever. They're going to use all the lessons of the startup world that make things kind of dumbed down and hard to mess up, and they're going to really integrate it with all of the smart systems like Siri and Alexa and everything. So I could say, send Eco to my best friend, and it would just do that. So one of the things that they're really doing that's very interesting is that they're going to be forming a verified university network where only universities run nodes. So this is sort of a hybridization of the concept of decentralization with the concept of verification. And so they want to form, so unlike Bitcoin, right, where the whole concept is that no one in the node network can be trusted, right? This is here, I'll scroll down. This is just where they're talking about it in full here. The Bitcoin network assumes that no node can be trusted because they assume that every node has a financial incentive to lie and say, oh, well, I have more money than I should have. By contrast, they want to create a network of verified nodes. So they want to make sure that each node is verified as an organization, and so there's a level of trust already in the network, and that on top of that, there's interconnectedness and decentralization across these verified nodes. So this kind of reminds me of Facebook. You know how Facebook started in the university world? This is kind of cool because if you have universities running nodes, you're going to have university students knowing about it, noting about it, and you're going to have it potentially spread through that university system, which is very cool, as well as it being a great place to turn for infrastructure. So I love it. That's how the internet started, was a bunch of universities linking their networks together, linking computer servers together, and this could be the very lifeblood of the next generation of blockchain 3.0, 4.0. I forget which 0.0 we're on, but whatever the next 0.0 is on blockchain, well, maybe this is it. Maybe it's universities. So right, it seems as though increasing your mining potentially or increasing your mining power here is not going to help you get more coins, because it seems like these miners are actually just going to help distribute the coins in an equitable way. So they're saying there's no financial incentive to game the system. Still need a bit more information on that. So let's see about the incentives here. The Eco Network operates on a collective incentive rather than individual reward. When a block is successfully mined, tokens are evenly distributed to all other nodes immediately. The financial motivation increases hashing power. To increase hashing power is removed since the reward is distributed to all other nodes. The motivation for the node operator becomes to provide just enough hash power to verify that transaction are valid within a collectively agreed upon level of maximum latency. Thus, the platform becomes collectively motivated to achieve an optimal energy level. So this is cool, right? Whereas with Bitcoin, the more mining, the more hash power you're giving, the more you can take. Whereas with this, there's an optimal level, an equilibrium of hashing that is achieved. And once that hashing level is achieved, there's no further incentive to hash more. So this is pretty cool. And you can see how this kind of a system would address the issues of energy efficiency. So right, so they're not going to be rewarding nodes for just having tons of hashing power. They are going to be rewarding nodes for having optimal levels of hashing power. So that's cool. And if you're being lazy and you don't have enough hashing power, then you won't be rewarded. But if you're hitting that optimal level, then you'll really be rewarded the most because you'll be using the least amount of power and getting the maximum reward. They go on about how they need to make this the most user-friendly, easy to interface with product in the blockchain space. I totally agree. I think it's a very admirable aim. And I think that if they are successful in creating something that's so dumbed down and easy to use, then they'll be very successful at getting the adoption too. So this is where you see how they want this to be used. They want this to be something that you can use for everyday items. They want you to pay 125 eco for something, not 0.000000125 like you're doing with Bitcoin. They want you to be able to use this for microtransactions and to have many of them. So they're going to be making trillions and trillions of these, and they're actually going to be creating more in proportion to the monetary supply and to the mining network. I forgot what is it? It's fixing monetary supply to an arbitrary. Yeah, so they're going to increase the token supply in proportion to market cap. So as market cap increases, they're also going to increase the token supply, making this not a deflationary currency, but also a slightly inflationary currency. But it inflates hopefully at a rate that's directly proportional to the amount of value in the currency, and hopefully it will never increase at a rate that is detrimental to the value within that currency. But again, these are all things that are being hashed out. So yeah, of all the tokens distributed, they're going to distribute 50% to end users on eco.com. So by holding coins on eco.com, my inference by reading this is that you will be put in position to get the distribution of the next coin. So you're getting a good store of value because there's a dividend essentially built into this coin, and that as they inflate the value, they're going to distribute those new coins to the original token holders, at least 50% of which allowing for it to be a good store of value. But actually, if you think about it, if they're minting new coins and you're only getting 50% of the portion of the new mint distributed to the end users, even if you get the whole pro rata share, you've still been diluted a little bit. So who knows? We'll see how this plays out over the course of a civilization trying to use this as a monetary supply. It's hard to predict right now how this is all going to play out. They're doing off-chain governance, so they're going to allow for all of these decisions to be made, not necessarily by the mining network or whatever, but they're going to have off-chain private governance sort of committees, which is interesting, another new proposition. So that's really it. That's all the information we have here on Eco. We've kind of gone through almost every piece of information and resource they have. All they have is a 6-page white paper and a couple, a 1 or 2 paragraph Medium article, and then this splash page website, which only has a couple of pages on it. It looks beautiful, but it's very, very concise. And so what we know now is that Eco is really in its baby stage, its infancy. And so if we can start to understand this project, let's start keeping up on the news of Eco and starting to understand what universities are they partnering with, how big is the adoption potentially going to be, how many ducks have they lined up, how many pieces of this ecosystem have they lined up, because like we know, like we've talked about with many other currencies, it's not about the idea, it's about the adoption, it's about the way it comes in and affects the world. Obviously, with resources like being the head of Uber, the co-founder of Uber, we can assume that there's going to be tons of resources that they're going to have there available to them at the Eco team, the Eco Foundation. But we still need a little more information as to how this is all going to play out. It looks like they're going to initially mint 1 trillion tokens, making it probably the widest circulated, the largest circulating supply of any token. But that might rapidly change, like we were saying with the Amazon coin. If they do that coin, I could easily see Amazon minting several trillion coins, at least 1 trillion coins. So we'll see this. This might be the beginning of the trillion coin era, and Eco might be the first widely adopted sort of small microtransaction coin. There's just so many ifs. There's so many things that have not quite come to fruition with this coin. So it's very hard to say what the future may hold. But it's cool. One of the most novel things that I've seen in this coin is the university network running nodes. That's a cool concept. I'd like to see that sort of fleshed out. I'd like to understand how they're going to be distributing their tokens, how that really works, and what they mean by fair distribution. I want to know what that means. So as they start to really illustrate these concepts and give us more, we're going to see what Eco might mean for the future of this whole cryptocurrency space, as well as for the holders or potential investors in Eco. There's a lot of unknowns, but it's very, very exciting to see Uber and its co-founders forming a future currency like Eco, and it speaks well of the entire currency space. If we get those Eco currencies, we get those Eco coins to $1, and they're starting out at 1 trillion coins, then we've already doubled our market cap just with one project. I'm not saying that that's likely. I'm just saying that that's the math. So here we find ourselves looking at what could be a potential Uber for blockchain. Who knows? Let us know. Maybe you know. So tell us what you think in the comments below. We'd love to know what you think of Eco, of this whole concept of an Uber founder coming into the blockchain space. Do we like it? Is this too centralized? Does he have the ideas down? Is this university node thing a good idea? Is it going to lead to university students adopting it? What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments below. Once again, this is not financial advice. We encourage you to do your own research. We thank you so much for being with us. Thanks again for everyone liking, commenting, subscribing. If you're new to this channel, don't be afraid to subscribe. Turn on bell notifications as we do many cryptocurrency videos each and every week, each and every day. So hit the bell. We'll be back and we'll see you soon. We hope you enjoyed this episode and we will see you soon.